Hello, my name's Carole. This is my channel Sew Carole, and you are joining me on #Friday Sews. So this is a little bit about life at the end, normally. Lots about what we've been sewing or making, what's going on in our sewing room, and what we hope to achieve in the next week. Thank you again to Jen for creating this #Friday Sews. As you know, you can go into the search bar on YouTube and type in #Friday Sews, and you will get a wealth of creators. If you alter it to sort by upload date, you'll get all the latest. It's a brilliant thing to do, and it really kicks off the weekend, especially if you're sewing. You can have them on in the background as I do, watching what everybody's been up to. Thank you very much. I've had a roller coaster week this week. I've had ups and downs and ups and downs. It's been one of those weeks. But what I'm wearing an indie pattern. I'm wearing my Cashmerette t-shirt that I made a few weeks ago, maybe even a couple of months ago now. I just saw it at the back of the wardrobe and I thought I'd give it a wear. It was that one with the lovely thick cuff sleeves. So yeah, I'm wearing an indie pattern. I will just say thank you so much for everybody that watched the 5 handmade essentials videos I put out this week. I had so many lovely comments, and mine were boring, but they were essentials. I cannot believe the amount of lovely comments I got about my little glasses bag that I use on my bedpost at night. And I'm so glad I mentioned it, because I think the idea is now going to help quite a few of you. Just a simple little bag. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just somewhere to put those glasses last thing at night, so you got them first thing in the morning. But I was overwhelmed by the response on that. After I filmed that essentials video, I realised my choice for bottom was the Acacia Knickers. And when I was actually going through them, I was looking at it. A few of these are looking tatty. So one of the things I did this week was make 3 more pairs. So you'll probably recognise some of the fabric that I've used. That's my daughter's pyjamas. I made a top out of that, and that was a t-shirt. But yeah, I made those up this week. So I've got another 3 to add to my drawer. So I do that old thing, 3 in, 3 out. So get rid of 3, but 3 new in. We've always done it like that. What I finished last Saturday after my Friday Sews was the tiered dress. I absolutely love it. I literally finished it and then wore it, and I was like a girl, swinging around in this lovely 3 tiers. Now, this was McCalls 7948, and I did the blue version there, but I did put the sleeves on it, just the normal sleeves. I loved making it, but I forgot how much of a fabric eater patterns are like this. So I didn't have quite the same requirement as you needed, so I had to adjust. Some of the ruffles aren't as full as they would be, but they are still considerably full, so I was really happy with that. I also didn't really have the length. I only had 2 meters, and I mean they're calling for 3, for goodness sake. No, I didn't have that, but I made it work. Yeah, very, very happy. A lot of gathering, and I did it on my overlocker for a change, and I didn't do too bad a job. It's fairly even. I think it takes so long, doesn't it, to make it all even. The only thing I changed, apart from obviously the length and the width, was I kept the front as it is, but I did add some elastic to the back, just to bring in the back a bit, because it sort of hung out on me. Now whether that's the way I stand, or I'm not sure, but if I just loosely added that elastic, I put hardly any tension on it at all, just on the seam. Actually, I'll show you. Yeah, just added that, and just a teeny bit, as you can see, it just made the difference and just brings it back in just a little bit. So really pleased with that. Yeah, I'd like to make another one, but I'll give it a break because of all the gathers. I had a go this week about playing with the flower girl dress that I've got to make for that 3-month-old that still isn't born yet. I think it's mainly due to the fabrics. what I was trying to do, I took a basic dress pattern and I'm trying to overlay some kind of chiffon over the top of it. Now these are all, this is not the colour, this is all practice, just rough stuff I had. I got the kind of idea there, so I wanted to be gathered because it's going to have a tie around the waist, and that wasn't the pattern, so I had to kind of work that out. Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room will be very proud of me because I did like a lined bodice where I had the chiffon coming over the top. So yeah, I played around with this. I tried to add a tie-in. I'm trying to keep it true to the bridesmaids' dresses, but it's not fair for me to show you what they look like. So I'll just show you what I was trying to achieve, but that was way too thick the way I was doing it. So the idea is there, it's the process that needs to be altered when I actually get around to doing it. Obviously this is much shorter than it would be. The fabrics I have are just dreadful to play around with. So I'm going to get hold of some better chiffon because I could actually order the same fabric as they're actually wearing. So yeah, that was a bit of a nightmare. But I'm getting there, I know what I want to do, is just having the right quality of fabric to do it. Now, back in June, I had my final Beyond the Pink Door Think Pink subscription box. I've never been good at saying that. And it was this fabric here, the lemon print. Now, this is, I'm going to be honest and say this would not be my choice of fabric at all. I've seen others had it in the white, which looked much more my cup of tea. But anyway, I had it in the black and it was a beautiful piece of fabric. It was a cotton lawn, which I believe it or not, I've never sewn with. So what I thought I'd do, as it's a nice light fabric, it's quite sheer. So I thought I would make another of the New Look 6575, the beach cover up that I made. Now I made this in a viscose crepe, but I thought let's see how I get on with this. Actually, I am quite pleased with how it came out, but I will still say it is not my type of fabric, but for what it is, yeah, it's going to be great. And again, this pattern came out so well. I was really, really pleased. There's just something about this pattern where everything matches up and you think it's going to be complicated and it isn't. The first time around I made it, I was worried about how low it came, so I made a little tie here. This time round, I just did as someone suggested to me. I just sewed it up a little bit. So I just ladder stitched up the front a little bit so it doesn't come down quite so low and it doesn't affect the look of it. So yeah, that was another success this week. Now, although I mentioned in my Handmade Essentials video that I have many t-shirts, I didn't actually have a plain white t-shirt. I've got a sleeveless plain white t-shirt that I made out of this wonderful jersey fabric, and it looks like broderie on glaze. Now I made that I think back in March. Not a problem. I had a big chunk left of this, so I thought brilliant, I'm going to make a sleeved t-shirt out of this because that's what my wardrobe was missing. So I brought out one of my t-shirt patterns, which I've lost count of how many times I've made this. I was going to make this one. I'm always worried about the sleeves being too short. So that's New Look 6246. I've made that one so many times. I don't know what went wrong. The only thing I can say is this fabric, I don't remember having trouble sewing with it before, but wow. It stretches, but it doesn't really bounce back. It just became a bit of a nightmare. It's very soft. It's lovely to wear, but it doesn't retain its shape very well. But I went ahead. I made the t-shirt. Fine, neckband went on fine. Put the sleeves in, and that's where it started going wrong. Because what actually happens, even though I did a big stitch, it starts to just gather up. These sleeves just stuck out. They didn't hang or anything, and they were quite short. So the only thing I thought I could do was add a band on. Similar to this, but I didn't have much length of fabric to use, so I put a narrow band on. That worked fine until I then came to top stitch it round, because otherwise it would just flip out, and that's when the fabric, as you can see, just couldn't take any more. It just stretched. Now what's that done? It has created almost a puff sleeve look on me. I don't care. It looks fine. It's fine. It's me being just a bit worrying too much, but as you can see, it just overstretched the fabric, just that one last seam. But other than that, it is a nice white t-shirt, but it's just, I don't think it'll last long because of the stretch. What I wanted to do this week was actually make up this Simplicity 9477, this top here. When I saw Viv Mum make this up, she had it in, I think she used a border print fabric where the yoke was made, it's a yoke that comes down over the front, and she had slightly different fabric. Well, I've gone through my wardrobe and where I keep my fabrics, and I've got nothing that's like that. The only thing I have is this, so I'm going to try it in this and see what it looks like. But the only thing is, I think you'll lose that sort of yoke effect if it's just all in one fabric. They've done it plain here, which would be great because you could top stitch it, but I don't have anything like that. But because this is leftover fabric, I'm going to give it a try anyway, just to make sure the width is okay on me. But I really hope to do that this week. I was a little sidetracked this week trying to sort out my sewing room a bit. My sewing room haven't got that new furniture yet that I wanted, and I've still got patterns all over the floor in boxes. My embroidery machine is still sat on currently a TV table. You know, the ones where you're sat in the lounge and you're having a TV, well, we never use it, but it's there, sat on that, and of course it moves a lot, the embroidery machine, so the whole thing moves every time I use it. So anyway, I ordered a chest of drawers to come, and it came on Tuesday, but it's got to be built. And unfortunately, my husband hasn't been well at all this week. Something he obviously picked up on the plane on the way home. But he hasn't been able to help me construct the box. Now, I'm okay at doing things like that, but I can't even lift the boxes of the wood. I am such a wuss, honestly. I've got no arm muscles or two. So I thought, okay, I'll just do it myself, but I couldn't even lift the boxes to take them upstairs to construct it. So unless I did one plank of wood at a time, I'm afraid the boxes are still in the hallway. So I'd even cleared out some space where I had that plasticky set of drawers. I've actually cleared out half a wardrobe and I put them in the wardrobe there already, so I had a nice gap for this chest of drawers, but I might have to wait another week for them. So my sewing room stays as it is, a very disorganised mess. Looking ahead to the weekend, we are due to go up to see my son and daughter-in-law. She's got about a month to go before the baby's due. But because my husband's been unwell, well, we'll see how he is, but I don't think we'll be going. It's not fair to take germs to her, is it? She's just about to have a baby. So we might not be going. So I don't know what we will do instead. I know where I could be. I could be in my sewing room. I would really like to make, and I know people are going to go, they won't believe me when I say this, but my daughter wants another pair of short pyjamas. So I have got some fabric, so I really should make those for her if I've got some spare time. Now, what is exciting, and I will be putting a video out tomorrow, Saturday, July the 1st, is the Busy Bee Sewing Challenge. So please look out for that. That will be announcing the July Busy Bee Challenge, which, no, I won't tell you about it. Have a look at it. It's I'm doing a challenge with 4 other sewers, 5 including me, and yeah, it's going to be really good fun. I'm really looking forward to it, and scared at the same time. We had a lovely weekend last weekend. The weather was wonderful. It has changed now, as it very often does just before the children break up for summer. But we managed to get down to the beach on Sunday. for Sunday morning up until just after lunch, and we all went in the sea. So it wasn't too bad at all, actually. The only thing I would say, it wasn't my type of sea. I like a nice calm sea, and this had a lot more spirit to it than that. So I didn't stay in too long, but yeah, we had such fun. I might put a couple of photos at the end of that. And also some of the photos I'll put, I haven't got much to show you this week, but I will show you some of the plants in my garden that are just looking amazing at the moment. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's hashtag Friday Sews from me. I normally put a playlist at the end in case there's any that you missed. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all very soon. Don't forget to look out for the Busy Bee Challenge, and goodbye for now.